Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the after draft, post draft, some would say, power rankings for Big Juice. I'm not alone today, a man who needs no introduction, JC.
The GOAT. The best in the league. Biggest painter of them all.
Sheesh. We're here to, of course, do the power rankings. So, added some new coaches. We have new tiering system. I think overall, everybody with this system, everybody has better teams because all of the good mons are spread out. So yeah, let's hop right into it. How do we want to do this? I feel like we're gonna be doing a lot of moving around.
For sure. I can't. It's hard because I can't see all the teams at the same time.
Yeah.
Little out of sorts.
A little rough. Do we? Yeah. How do we want to do this? I guess I can like read the teams, but then again, that's like not. It's kind of hard to get everything together. Like.
We can just start with who we think is the worst team.
Who we think is the worst? You and I were already talking about it very briefly.
He did make some changes though.
Which I think the changes are updated on here.
Correct, they are.
They are, okay. So.
I just don't understand how some of these points work out, bro. I'm gonna have to do my own. I'm gonna have to do my own investigating, bro, for sure.
Okay. Anyways.
For sure. I see motherfuckers with 3 18-point mons, and then
the rest 12. It definitely.
And I'm over here with double sixes.
Double sixes.
I only got 9 mons.
Oh gosh. Okay. I'm trying to see if there's anybody's team. Okay. All right. Let me ask you about Josh's team. Do you think Josh's team is the best team in the league, like composition wise?
Let me scroll up.
Dragapult King Gambit.
What's his name again?
Salford Swaboos. He's all the way to the right, like top right.
Jesus. No.
No. Okay. Would you say it is up there, or no?
It's definitely up there.
Okay.
Again, this is one of these teams. He loses a ton of. Besides Zapdos, he loses a ton of pivoting power. Like, he loses a ton of, I can just swap this in to take a hit. And, that is rough. I think his team is very, if you get +2 on something, you can beat the entire lineup.
Okay.
But at the same time, he has a lot to be scared of. I definitely think this is a very offensive roster. I literally don't see a single defensive mon on there other than having to bring bulky Zapdos every week on top of bulky Skeledirge every week.
Right. I think the top 4 mons are every week type of mons. I think Skeledirge, King Gambit, Zapdos, Dragapult are coming every single week.
I can agree with that. I just think the lineup doesn't let him have as much freedom with those mons. I think he has to bring bulky Zapdos every week. I think if he doesn't, then it could get carried away with mons against him.
Right.
And you have to do the same thing with Skeledirge. You have to do the same exact thing. And the problem with Skeledirge being a Terra Captain is it's only defensive. Because you're still going to run Torch Song.
Yeah.
You're still going to run those type of moves. So it's an only defensive Terra Captain.
Right. With the Torch Song, it can definitely get to be offensive. And it is a very hard wall. Skeledirge with Terra is definitely better than Skeledirge without it. And, I think it functions way better as a wall.
Is better without it.
Not necessarily. I wouldn't agree with that. Skeledirge is when I think of mons that are I personally would never draft them without Terra, Annihilate, Skeledirge, stuff like Iron Leaves, just those mons that get so much better with Terra that I think Skeledirge does not function as a wall with his regular Fire Ghost typing. It's just not good as a defensive
But
typing.
Another thing is if he loses if he goes Terra Fairy, he is weak to just spamming flamethrowers. If you have a good flamethrower mon, you can literally just eat this team up, except for Keldeo. Tentacruel is not very good at coming in and taking hits. I use Tentacruel a lot, and he's very fast. I use him season 1 or season 2, I think. He's a fast mon. He's a good spinner.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see him ever bringing Tentacruel, to be honest with you. I don't see him ever having the luxury of giving up one of those slots for Tentacruel.
Right. Okay. I was just curious because Dragapult King Gambit obviously is very.
It's very scary.
It's a very scary.
I think
King
Gambit did not work out for Plaz really until he started tearing it, and then it started having more and more effect.
Yes. I mean, it's hard to say it didn't work. It definitely got better after he teared it.
It definitely worked.
For sure. You and I think can both agree that I'm gonna skip the Preston's team. This is a top 5 team on paper.
I just don't see how the points line up, but I agree.
Well, I mean, he's got stuff like Blissey's like 7, Gogoat's like 3, Sinistcha's like 3. I mean, Klefki and Pelipper are both down there. Frostmoth is like 4 points. So
That's
really,
crazy,
Thundurus is like 12. So like Naganadel, Palafin, Mega Swampert's like 12.
14.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just saying it's around there. He's got very middle to low tier pack mons. This is just a crazy team altogether.
I mean, I agree, and I definitely think him dropping Urshifu Rapid was for the best.
Yeah, I
It
agree.
really just does the same thing as Mega Swampert, just worse in the rain. So,
I mean, I'm looking at, I'm kind of glancing through all the teams. I mean, bro, on paper, this team is disgusting.
yeah, but we have to take in coaches' account. We have to take in the account of the coaches that have them as well. And I gotta see him play with it. I gotta see him.
I agree.
I gotta see how he is around. He is very Stealth Rock weak.
Okay.
Very, very Stealth Rock weak. If he continues to switch, he's gonna be in some trouble. I mean, does he have a single way to get rid of rocks except for defog?
No.
Right. So he's gonna have to bring. I mean, defog on Pelipper's hard because you're wasting a turn of rain. On top of you want to bring the damp rock, so having to bring it in on rocks already, you're taking 25.
Klefki is gonna be his defogger, for sure. Klefki's gonna be here
For sure.
90% of the games. So, I mean,
I
we're
agree.
6 minutes in and hadn't tiered anybody yet. So,
That's the joy of it, man.
it is. It's crazy having 20 coaches.
I would leave Preston and Josh in the top 5 right now. We just haven't put them in.
All right, I'll put
place.
Josh 5. I'll put Josh 5 for now, and then I'll put Preston 4.
Okay.
And then we can. This is gonna be. We're gonna adjust a lot, I imagine. So okay.
For sure. We just gotta go. We pretty much have to go over every single team.
Yeah, we do. All right. So let's just go. Let's just start. Then we went over Preston and Josh. Let's just go with Plaz. Let's just go with Plaz's team right now. We'll go in order. So, Terra Ogerpon, obviously very terrifying. He's got Deoxys speed, which is great. Utility, and we lifted the nasty plot restriction, so it's gonna definitely put some holes in some teams. With that +2 Psycho boost. Hisuian Samurott, the best spiker in all of Pokemon, without a doubt. Mega Manectric, Mon's trash. Pivoter, whatever. That's all it's good for. The Mon sucks. Salamence, normal Salamence things. Fortress, great hazard setting, great rapid spinner. Licky, good wall, good low tier wall. It has 3 great abilities. Nidoqueen, good Mon. Definitely good Mon. I mean, it's between King and Queen, it's very close. It's not like, one of them's super better than the other. And then Hatterene.
Poison Phil.
Yep. And then Hatterene, Magic Bounce, Trick Room stuff, because his team has fast aspects, and he can run some kind of cool Trick Room sets, I think, with this team as well. So I mean, I feel like, as always, Plaz's team doesn't look scary. I think this team looks scarier than last season's team.
I think you're way off on that.
Really?
I think you're way off. I think looking at Plaz's team, if Ogerpon and Salamence can't do anything, he loses. He doesn't have things that can come in and just beat the shit out of something. Mega Manectric is a very standard. You go up against a ground type, you got a hidden power ice him and hope it kills him.
Right.
The rest, his only recovery is Roost on Salamence, which is hard to do because you're gonna be running into Hidden Power Isis,
Right.
and Lickilicky.
Ogerpon does get recovery. It does get like Horn Leech and stuff like that, so it does get recovery moves.
Right. Well, yeah, but you're hoping it does 80 to get back 30.
Yeah.
Um,
Deoxys Speed, I also do believe gets recover in cases where
Deoxys Speed is dying to a Mach Punch, so
he's got bulk. I do agree that he does not have a lot of recovery. I mean, Hatterene's gonna be running Draining Kiss.
I just think he has to win a game in 15 turns. I think if it goes past 15 turns, I think his team is way worse. I think in the starting 15, his team is very good. In the back 15, his team is very bad.
Okay. I think his team is very Earthquake weak too. You can kind of just spam Earthquake against his team. It's gonna hit everything neutrally except for Salamence.
Right.
So.
I don't know. He's got a. Yeah, I mean.
This team, and he even said it in this video, and I do agree. This team is only gonna do well with how creative he can be with it. He's gonna have to be very creative with how he wins games. I think he's gonna have to win games very quickly. I do agree with you. If games go longer, it's gonna be very tough.
I do agree that he is like the opposite Josh in that sense, where Josh pretty much has to bring the same thing every week. Plaz can definitely bring different teams every week.
Right. So do we want to just go over every team and then try to tier, or do we want to?
Yeah, I would say go over every team. That way our memories are on the teams that I can remember. Or if we see one that like stands out. Right now, I'd put Plaz probably in the mid-range.
Okay. So we'll put Plaz here at 10 for right now. And then we'll go from there. Okay, Imnaz.
Okay.
Terra, Rock, and Bug Cleaver. A absolutely disgusting defensive core in Tinglu, Rotom-Wash, Sylveon. And then you have Revavroom. Jesus Christ, I can't talk. Mega Lopunny, Victini, KB, and Decadui. I mean, it has its scary parts. I feel like this. I don't know. I mean, this isn't a bad. You can't say anything really bad about this team. It's not bad.
Right.
I just feel like it's very mid.
To me, it has zero synergy. Like he's not playing off of anything.
Now he was a victim.
He's just hoping
during the draft.
Yeah, I agree. Individually, these mons are very good. He's got to put it into a way that they can play off of each other well. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I do like the Terra Cleaver. I do like that he kept it Rock and Bug as well. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of things you can Terra Cleaver and it'd be more effective. So right. I think Terra Cleaver is fine.
Yep. His defensive core with the Cleaver is like him doing damage and setting rocks, and then people having to deal with Tinglu, Rotom-Wash, Sylveon while switching into all those rocks plus the damage from Cleaver, and then having things like Mega Lopunny, Kieran Black, sitting in the back, and Victini in the back. It can be very daunting to try to deal with stuff like that.
So the one thing I think he does lack is speed. Very slow. Only Mega Lopunny.
Very slow.
Everything else is, I believe, sub 100, unless Victini is at 100.
Victini's 100.
Yeah.
Yes. Cleaver's like in the 80s. Obviously, Tinglu's slow. Rotom's in the 80s. Sylveon's like 40 or 50. I don't know what Revavroom's speed is.
Revavroom's in the 80s.
Okay. Kieran Black is in the 80s as well?
80s.
Yeah.
I think it's 87.
And then Decidueye, I think, is like 50,
60,
something like that. Yeah. So his speed goes from like Mega Lopunny, Victini, which is like barely over 100, to like dropping. So I mean, it's a very bulky. Like all eyes are gonna be on this defensive core in Tinglu, Rotom-Wash, and Sylveon. It's gonna be those three are doing a lot of the damage and just chip and other stuff here and there, and then Cleaver, Mega Lopunny, Kyurem, and Victini are gonna come in even Decidueye, it can be a Stallmon if it locks people in with Spirit
I
Shackle.
don't see him bringing Decidueye.
I do. Decidueye is good. I like Decidueye.
I don't deny that the Mon is a decent Mon. I just don't think with this team you bring Decidueye because you have 3 walls, right? And you have to bring damage, and Decidueye compared to these other Mons for damage just isn't it.
Banded Poltergeist.
Yeah, the base 60 Poltergeist, and every Mon in the game now has knockoff.
Listen, all right. Are we? So, like I said, I think this team's very mid, like in terms of just compared to some of the other stuff we talked about, and just, I mean, for right now,
I would put it at 9 above Plaz.
Okay, so you think it's better than Plaza's
1
team?
above Plaz. I do think it's better than Plaza's team. I think it has a lot more survivability than Plaza's team. On top of, you're not one-shotting anything on this team except for Mega Lopunny. So I think it's gonna be interesting. I think if those teams on paper matched up, I think MNAS would definitely have an advantage.
Okay, all right. Next we have Chris, the newly rebranded Roman Rayquazas.
Okay.
He has Terra Superior, which is disgusting. Terra Grass, Terra Fire. And then he has Mega Latias, Spectrier, Milotic, Hawlucha, Snorlax, Crocodile, Jolteon, Tinkerton, and Kecleon. Now, Kecleon was the last edition.
I do wish that Superior was Dragon. For the stab Dragon Pulses. Also, it gives you a lot of immunities.
Okay.
Or not immunities, but a lot of resistances. Electric, fire, grass, water.
90% of the game, I would say 95% of the games you're bringing Terra Fire though. Terra Fire just makes this thing. Once you get that
I'm saying Dragon Grass. I'm saying not fire at all.
No, Fire's way better. Terra Fire Superior is amazing. Like, helps you deal with the steals you didn't get, you couldn't deal with before. Other bulky grass types you really couldn't deal with before. Like, it's way. I thought you were talking about going Fire and Dragon. I could agree with that.
No, I would want to go Dragon and Grass.
I agree with the Fire personally.
I mean, he doesn't have a Fire Mon, so I guess.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
So this team for me. Oh, go ahead. No, you go.
I think this team is a ragtag bunch of goons.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Are just on here to be here. I think they're just happy they showed up.
Right.
Crocodile, I'm shouting him out. Fucking love that guy.
Oh yeah.
But this is one of those teams where Chris can do a lot. He can do a lot with this team. He can run Intimidate Crocodile, Moxie Crocodile, Calm Mind Jolteon, or just Fast Jolteon, Tinkaton, Assault Vest or Banded, Snorlax, defensive or offensive, Hawlucha, unburdened or not. Right. There's a lot of stuff he can do with this team. But that being said, I think in terms of going up against some of these other lineups, I think they definitely can get ahead on him pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he has no bulk other than
it relies on like Tinkaton and Snorlax and like Mega Latias and Milotic.
Those are bruisers.
Milotic's definitely defensive. Milotic gets recovery.
Yeah, right. But Milotic, you can't keep switching him in on volt switches. You know what I mean? Like you can't. And it's a thing to toxic. It's a thing to just whittle down. I think a lot of the stress is going to be on Milotic. But that being said, I think he can bring a lot of different things in the lineup. I just think it's hard with having because a lot of his team gets one shot. I agree. Which is rough.
Yeah, I think thinking about seasons past, and I think you said it when we were talking to some other people about it, is Chris tends to lean very heavily on 1 to 2 Pokemon during a season, and the rest of his mons are kind of supporting cast. This to me doesn't really have a supporting cast. It's like Superior's 100% going to have more kills than Spectrier this season. I think Spectrier is going to struggle not being a Terra captain. It's just gonna like Chris has to be creative. I think Chris has to be even more creative than Plaz does with his team because
agreed.
I mean, you can try to do the same things like Scarf Crocodile, berries or leftovers on Snorlax, Swords Dance Hawlucha, like, you know, Flame Orb Milotic for the Marvel scale, Tinkaton with that. Like, all these mons have very standard sets, and it's going to be hard to be creative with mons that are not the most versatile mons in the game. They're all very they do good at the 1 to 2 things that they do.
I wouldn't say they're not versatile. I do think he has a lot of versatility on his team on what he can do. I just am interested to see how he builds it, because you can't build them all to beat the other team. You have to build support around a 1 or 2 mons. You have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't bring setup on 6 mons. You can't do it. And
Right.
to me, that's what it looks like this team does, and it's just not going to work. So I'm interested to see on how he can produce numbers in building this team.
Right. I think you were right when you said a lot of his mons can get easily. I think by turn 2, 3, 4, half of Chris's team is going to be dead, if not bleeding. Like, depending on what the other team is doing. I think it's going to be very hard. But
you have to look out for Chip against this team, though, could be scary.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Mega Latias is nothing to be. That thing is bulky as all get out. If that thing starts roosting, calm minding, substitute, like, it doesn't take a lot for that thing to get going, and then Superior to get going doesn't take a lot. Things can get out of hand. Crocodile needs 1 kill, and now half your team is dying. If they're taking 70% from a knockoff. So,
I do think his team is very knockoff weak. I think his team is very spam it into him and get rid of items.
Right. So would you put Chris's team? I'm thinking like 7 for right now.
Oh, you think it's above Plaza and MS?
I mean, because we put Plaza and MS so close for right now, man, it's hard to say it's over Plaza's.
I would put this team in. I'd probably put him like 13, 14.
Okay. I just like it's so weird because defensively he can struggle. Defensively he can struggle pretty heavily. But below or above? Sheesh.
And I mean, he just doesn't have the switching powers. Yeah, I mean, he just.
I mean, it's hard. Like, I'm just thinking about Latias and Milotic and all them, like, trying to switch into things, and it just depends on what you're Yeah. If Mons have coverage, I think this team is going to struggle, actually. So, yeah, I would agree. I'll do 12 for now.
Okay.
And we'll do that. Okay. Sal. Now, we've talked about this team a little bit. He did make a couple of trades. I think he just changes. Actually, I think the only thing he changed was changing his Terra Captain from Bundle to an Amorous. So an Amorous Incarnate is now Ground Terra, which means Bundle is back to missing Hydro Pumps. Ferrothorn, Clodsire, Hazards, Rotom Heat, General Bulk, Latios, Fantastic Dragon, Mantine, Mega Medicham, and Skuntank. I'll let you start.
For one, I do not like Clodsire and Skuntank being on the same team.
Okay.
Those mons try to do the same thing. Clodsire just does it infinitely better than Skuntank does. I think he tunnel visioned on Poison Dark and found Skuntank. I don't like the pickup. If you're not. So my problem is if he doesn't bring Mantine and he brings Clodsire Rotom Heat, and for some reason Clodsire doesn't have Water Absorb if he wants to go unaware to prevent a sweep, his team gets spammed into by water moves. I mean, an Amorous Ground, dying, Rotom Heat's taking a chunk, and then Clodsire's also taking a chunk. So I think he has to bring Water Absorb on Clodsire every single time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or he has to bring Mantine. I think his team can be very offensively. Again, it's one of those things where I think he has to bring Clodsire, Rotom, Heat, Mantine every game, or he has to build Latios bulky every game.
Which that just feels bad. I think he's pretty rocks weak too. Enamorus, Bundle, Rotom Heat, Mantine. All those mons are weak to rocks.
I don't disagree with it. And then he's going to be running into Hidden Power Fires with Ferrothorn, so that literally it's very hard to have a wall with a ×4 weakness.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Like, I think like his team versus Preston's team is so bad.
Right. Doesn't play him.
Right. No, I agree. I'm just going off of like what I see on the screen. I even think his team versus Superior is bad. I mean, because Clodsire can't come in there and take 2+2 Leaf Storms.
Right. Well, okay, if it's unaware, it's ignoring it. So,
I mean, yeah.
Okay, I'll say this. The way that Sal's going to have to play this team, it's going to have to be Enamorus, and Mega Medicham and Latios getting in here early and getting and Iron Bundle getting big damage on things, and then letting Ferrothorn and Clodsire sit in front of the rest of their HP and try to stall it out. Like he doesn't have a lot of like. It's going to be a very offensive type of playstyle for him. I feel like it has to be because you have things like Enamorus, Bundle, Mega Medicham, Latios. Like those mons just come in, hit hard, and hopefully that early game damage will carry you okay into the late game because they're not also taking a lot of hits back. So he has a lot of mons that do a lot of damage. Now, you have, Enamorus can be mixed, but Iron Bundle, Latios. I'll throw Rotom Heat in there because Rotom Heat can be offensive sometimes. These 3 mons all, get affected by Assault Vest. Granted, Latios, you could run Dragon Dance, so you could run a physical set on Latios and Enamorus, but, there's a possibility that Assault Vest affects this team very heavily.
Yeah, it is a little rough. It relies a lot on Mega Medicham.
Yeah, to do a lot of the physical heavy lifting, for sure. So, it's hard to say not a bad team because I don't think anybody's team is terrible. Right. But
I just think against the other teams, it is low.
I think, Sal also, probably shouldn't put all of your eggs in one basket, so to speak. If you didn't get Coco, you were just completely fucked. That, probably shouldn't have done that. But, the state of his team, I don't know. I mean, if we have Chris at 12, I can't, I don't know. It's hard for me to put a team with Enamorus, Bundle, Mega Medicham, and Latios under a team with a lot of mons that don't compete with these. I mean, you really have Mega Latias, Superior, Spectrier.
I would put it above Chris.
So we're thinking.
I mean, I would rather use. I mean, dude, the thing that fucks me, bro, like he has 4 extra points too, bro. You could upgrade Skunk Tank heavily.
Yes.
I don't know why it's there. I do not know why he has it. If you need a dark type mon, there are plenty of other dark type mons that you don't have to get Skunk Tank. I do not know why he picked up Skunk Tank.
We'll have to see. The world may never know. Okay, Biff.
Okay.
Terra Diplin.
I like this team.
Terra Diplin. Zeraora, Garchomp, Cyclizar, Iron Treads. Picks up the Urshifu Rapid Strike. Chi-Yu, Among Us, Sableye, and Masquerain.
Bro, this is what I'm talking about, bro. We need to fucking start investigating these points, bro. I mean, damn. Bro's got 17, 16, 15, 16, 16, 16.
I mean, we do have 120 points, my guy. Not
I'm
everybody.
double
Not
checking
everybody
this shit,
spent.
man. I think I got.
Not
I
everybody
think I got
spent.
handicap.
Not everybody's. Well, yeah, you have a Terra Blood Moon Ursaluna.
I think I got handicap.
That's like
Um,
half your points.
I like this team a lot, though. That being said, I like this team a lot.
I do
it
as
has
well.
very good bulk. It has very good offense. It has very good sustain. Sableye there in case he's afraid of something. He can just Sableye's a fucking demon mon, bro. So that being the case, I mean, fuck, he could even bring Masquerain and Quiver Dance on somebody and sweep.
I think having Masquerain with, having the sticky webs and the Intimidate into something like Cyclozar Shed Tail, Urshifu Rapid Strike, because you're giving Urshifu the ability to not have to run a Choice Scarf, and like Urshifu Rapid does not deal with bulky waters very well. It just doesn't. I mean, Slowbro, Slowking, they both hard wall this mon. Like it has a hard time breaking through bulky waters, and like being able to just U-turn out and still being able to change up moves in case things happen. Like Iron Treads is he's got 2 great hazard removal in Iron Treads and Cyclozar, and Masquerain gets Defog if I'm not mistaken as well. So there is that. My biggest thing is when he was drafting, he picked Garchomp and Cyclozar back to back. They do different things as dragons. It's weird for me to have them on the same team. And you have Dipplin. Granted, it's your Terra Captain, but if we're talking you're bringing 3 dragon types, it's rough. And then in all of this, you have Chi-Yu. So you have Chi-Yu with webs.
Which is, I think this team is very good. I think it's very balanced. I think the problem Biff is going to run into is I think he's going to want to try to force Dipplin into the lineup, and he shouldn't do that.
Right.
I think he has a lot of power, so I think he should just Amoonguss is very good for this team, being an all-rounder. I like the team. I definitely think it is in the top 7 for sure.
Okay. Dipplin is also like as a support. I don't know for a fact if he gets Leech Seed. I'm assuming it does because Appleton does.
Check real quick.
Its signature move is going to be very annoying for teams to deal with. It's going to continually drop your speed for 3 turns, and then you're having to deal with things. Okay, it does not get Leech Seed. Okay, interesting.
It does not.
But yeah, if you're, it comes in, lowers your evasion. It can, it has 100% accurate Draco Meteors essentially, and then it drops your speed 3 stages if you keep that mon in, and then you're having to deal with Zeraora, Garchomp, Iron Treads, Urshifu Rapid, Chi-Yu.
I mean, I agree with you in a sense, but I think people are very, very much overlooking this. The fact that Syrup Bomb is a 60 power move, it is grass type, and you have to repeatedly stay in there for you to take the swaps. Not to mention, the reason why this lineup is decent is because 1, Appleton gets Stick Fat, and 2, Flapple gets access to Hustle and Grav Apple, and then we also have, the Spadef drop for Appleton. So I think that's what makes them more valuable. I think you Hidden Power Ice this thing, and it's doing 60. I just think, and then he's going to try to get off a 60 power move. I don't think this mon is as valuable as people think it is. I think it's just going to be there for a placeholder, but it is a mon you can essentially get. Like, if you already have a slow mon, you're not worried about the speed, and I want to set up 3 Swords Dances in front of it, then I'm going to do that. And then you're going to lose the game.
It does get access to Eviolite.
Right. So, I just don't think it has.
And then if you get rid of that quad weakness, if you do, personally, I don't know what the fighting is here for. Maybe for steals, I guess. I would have personally rather seen water. If you just did Fairy, Steel, Water, and then you have the 3 best defensive typings in the game as all 3 of your Terra types, I think that would have been great. I think Dipplin is going to work out a lot better than people are thinking. Personally, for me, I think that dealing with that move and having your speed, because you get hit by it, your speed gets lowered. So then you hit Dipplin, and then he dips out, and you try to stay in to hit him again, and now you're -2, and then he's got Cyclozar, Iron Treads, or Urshifu in, and he's getting bulk up, Swords Dances, Nasty Plots with Chi-Yu. Like, it seems hard to deal with. Now, depending on which mons he's bringing, this team can be very, very, very frail. Very frail. Does not get any recovery at all. Aside
That's
from
not true at all.
Sableye
You get
recovery.
recover on Dipplin, recover on Sableye,
Okay, Dipplin gets
Regenerator on
recovery.
Amoonguss, Cyclozar gets Regenerator. No, he's.
I mean,
good on the
Cyclozar's
recovery part of
frail.
it.
Cyclozar's frail. Amoonguss, yeah, gets Regenerator. Absolutely. Sableye, I didn't know Dipplin could recover, so fair enough there. But, I think you just spam Earthquake, and this team just takes neutral damage from 90% of the roster. And which that might be 90% of these teams, but it just, I don't know, I'm just pointing out
I mean,
weaknesses that I see.
I don't. I feel like So this is the problem: is I feel like he can't give up a slot for Dipplin. I feel like he can't do it. I feel like Amoonguss does the job better than Dipplin does with the Regenerator.
Right.
So I don't see a case where Dipplin should be coming over Amoonguss, even with the Terras. I think Grass Poison is a very good typing.
Can be.
So I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I just don't think this. I just don't want him to feel like he needs to bring Dipplin because it's his Terra captain. I think his team is
Right.
very good. I think, but the other part, the team is frail.
Right.
I think it's gonna rely a lot on he's got to bring bulky treads. He cannot bring offensive treads.
Okay.
It's gonna have to rely on Amoonguss's bulk. And the problem is if you want to take advantage of speed with sticky webs, you're gonna have to bring the Masquerade, and that's another frail mod.
Right. So are we saying?
So-
I mean, you said not in the. You said that you think it's top 7. We can put it at 7 for now just to be safe, and then.
Yeah, but I mean his team hits hard as fuck though.
Yeah.
And then like if he gets carried away, like if he brings Choice Scarf on Chi-Yu and you're not expecting it, you're just gonna get fucked.
Yeah.
I mean I definitely still keep it in top 7. It's just some of this shit scares me, bro. Chi-Yu behind a Cyclozar Shed Tail is fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean Zeraora by itself is scary. Garchomp can dish and take.
And be bulky,
I think,
and set hazards.
Yeah.
Garchomp can do a lot.
yeah,
For sure.
I think it's definitely in the top 7.
Okay.
This is a very scary team. Like if you line up across a football field, bro, and you see Zeraora, Garchomp, Cyclozar, Urshifu Rapid, Chi-Yu, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy for sure. Now to another team that I think is very close to top. I think this is probably
because you helped build it.
I did not. He did the majority of this on his own. And then I just told him yesterday hey, you need to me and Plaz were talking about it because originally he had Chansey, Furfrou, and Mamoswine, and his whole entire team died to if they're the equivalent of a fighting type Ember, if it was just called Punch, it died to that. So getting rid of Chansey and Furfrou and Mamoswine and picking up Sandaconda, which is, I think, way better value. This mon being low tier is very good as a low tier ground. And Clefable, he essentially got rid of all of his fighting type weakness except for obviously Goodra. And you picked up you picked up a great fairy and a great low tier ground. This team is bulky. This team has great speed tiers. This team can get out of hand very quickly. It can be very defensive. It can be very offensive. He can play mind games with Zoroark. Clefable can be 15 different sets every single time he brings it. Aerodactyl is just going to run people's pockets because it's the fastest thing in the game except for Regieleki. I mean, Terra Hoopa is going to go absolutely insane. He went for a more defensive Terra. I think that's going to work very well because he likes Goodra, so Hoopa can be like a semi-Goodra for him, just not as physically defensive. This team is good. This team is, I think, better than Biff's in terms of utility and just creativeness wise with what you can do with this team.
I cannot agree with. I do think it is a solid team. I do not think it's better than Biff's team. Biff's team can do so much more than this team can do in terms of how he runs the Mons. And Biff has a lot more recovery on his team. And I mean a lot more. He has to run rest on Santakana if he wants that recovery. And then I'm assuming Cliffabo gets Wish, right?
Clefable, I believe, gets Wish and Soft Boiled and Moonlight.
Right. So that's it. So without Santakana running rest, he has Clefable, which is rough. And he doesn't have a Mon on his team that can come in and just fucking one-shot, except for Mega Aerodactyl. Hoop Unbound is very good. Do not get me wrong. Hoop Unbound is very good. It's not a Mon that's going to come in and with the speed tier that it has and just fucking one-shot your lineup at, 60%. It's going to have a lot of counters.
Not with Terra Water, it's not. I think if at some point he decides to shed,
Hoopa uses.
I'm not gonna lie. If he's Terra Dark Hoopa and he is running Eject Pack or Mental Herb or something.
Terra Dark.
No, I'm just saying, if at some point, like if he sheds, which he has talked about, if he doesn't like water, he's probably gonna shed it and go dark. If you go that more offensive route with Hoopa, there are not a lot of switch-ins to this Mon. It is doing 70% to something, stealing its item, and leaving. And then you have to deal with it again.
But right now, what I'm looking at is Terra Water. And that's how I'm ranking this team.
I think it's better than Biff's team. I think it's better than Biff's.
Hey, listen, man. It's your video. It's your list. You can put it above Biff's. I'm just saying I would rather go up against Nick's team than Biff's team.
Biff's team has a lot of scarier Mons in name. I do not think Biff's team will keep up with Nick's team offensively. I think Nick,
what?
Yeah, I think Biff gets run over by Nick's team.
I think you're absolutely. His only offensive Mons are Aerodactyl, Blaziken, and Scolipede. Zoroark Hisui, we've already been down that route with me. That Mon gets fucking one-shot by a goddamn Grass Pledge.
Clefable can be very offensive. If that thing gets set up, there's not much you're going to be able to do with how bulky it is. Scolipede, you've already said.
You're saying if that Mon sets up, then it can be offensive. Absolutely.
Clefable can be offensive by itself.
If you're running Nick's team into Sticky Web's Masquerain, I mean, bro's getting fucking smoked by Chi-Yu.
There's a water Hoop Unbound. And
Chi-Yu
is dying.
Dark Pulses. On top of it, if he gets a nasty plot up, if we're talking setup, that whole lineup gets obliterated.
It's not going to be faster than Mega Aerodactyl. You're not going to one-hit Hoop Unbound. I mean, he's got things to deal with certain things. And I mean, he has to get Masquerain in safely and not die to something. He
can just lead it.
Okay, you lead, but then you're already you get those Sticky Webs up, and then Masquerain dies, and then something else comes in, so you're already behind, and all you've done is got Sticky Webs up, and then you've got to deal with whatever Mon killed Masquerain, and okay, we have 6 and 8 open right now. You seem like you're saying 8, I'm saying 6, because no way in hell Nick's team is 13.
No. I agree that it isn't bottom whatever. What do we have Biff's team at?
7. You said it was top 7.
Right. I agree that it is better. I think that it is better. It's not better than Biff's team. But hey, it is your list. You can
this is our list. This is our list. I mean, we can
I think you're a little bit biased towards it because it is your boy.
Biff's my boy.
I mean, Nick is more your boy than Biff is. And don't get me wrong, I love them both. But I think Biff is my favorite British person.
Okay. Propaganda right there. I like it.
I just think you're absolutely tripping, bro. I think Urshifu Rapid can get carried away into this team. I think fucking because Hoop Unbound, whether you like him or not, bro, he's not sitting there and taking a CC from fucking Urshifu Rapid, bro. It's base 1 fucking 40. It's
The
dead.
defense with the defensive side of Hoopa Unbound, the physical defensive side of Hoopa Unbound is definitely rough. For sure.
But that's what I'm saying. So look at this lineup. Mega Aerodactyl gets killed by Urshifu Rapid Aqua Jet. Goodra Hisui dies. Hoopa Unbound dies. Blaziken dies. Rotomo's taken 70. Scoliped's taken 70 from a Surging Strike. Zoroark Hisui's dying. Cliffabelle's taken 60 from a Surging Strike. I mean, Sandakana's dying to a Surging Strike. I think you're tripping on saying this team's better than this.
I mean, if we're looking at it with just, I could say the same thing about Mega Aerodactyl. Okay, Mega Aerodactyl is killing Zeraora, it's killing Garchomp, it's killing Psychozar, it's killing Iron Treads, it's killing Urshifu Rapid, it's killing Chi-Yu, it's killing Amoonguss, it's killing Masquerade. Mega Aerodactyl solos its entire team.
Sableye literally comes in, burns that thing, and it's useless. That Mon's out of the game.
Okay, I just said one Mon that killed every other Mon in his entire team, and you're going to try to give me Sableye as an answer.
But that's what I'm saying. Sableye answers that Mon. That's it. I mean, bro,
if Sableye dies,
Dipplin, he has no way of killing Dipplin with Mega Aerodactyl if it's bulky like that. And then Mega Aerodactyl's losing its speed, and it's losing to Dipplin because of its typing. And if it tears, it's getting fucked.
I mean, listen, bro. I'm just saying, if you want to, you pull the same thing with Urshifu Rapid. He definitely has the answer for Urshifu Rapid. I did the same thing with Mega Aerodactyl, but named almost every offensive Mon on that team that dies to Earthquake or Ice Fang or Dual Wing Beat. Anyways, we're moving on. I guess I'll compromise with you and put it at 8. I don't agree, but I will put it at 8.
We don't have to put it at 8.
It's fine. We're gonna move some of this around anyways. I assume at the end of it, we just need to get through some of the rest of this.
Yeah, we're not even done with the top half. All right, let's go.
Woo! This team is not good. Infernape, Great Tusk, Tapu Koko, Mega Kanga, Politoed, Tangrowth, Haxorus, Scizor, Umbreon, Articuno. This is a ragtag bunch. These Mons have absolutely zero synergy whatsoever. Half of these are just, there were some snakes in the grass and people's teams got leaked and he picked up Koko, Infernape, tried to snipe you with Mega Kanga and Tangrowth, and then, just picked up a bunch of random stuff. I
don't think I've ever seen Politoed more out of place in my life.
Politoed's a weird one. I guess he has Tangrowth and Scizor. Having Politoed with Great Tusk is weird. I guess you have 100% accurate Thunders in electric terrain with Koko now. You have Water Infernape that now its Terra Blast is going to get boosted by Rain. I just don't. I don't like this team either. I don't.
His speed tier is very bad. And the way I was prepping with Kangaskhan is on this team, it has to one-shot things. And it just doesn't do that. I agree. I don't like this team.
I don't. It's hard to, Scizor is going to hit hard. Haxorus is going to hit hard. Infernape is obviously here. Great Tusk does what Great Tusk does. I think this is going to be forced into Rapid Spin every single... saying it's forced into Rapid Spin doesn't really matter because it likes to run Rapid Spin. But, I guess you could run Defog on Tapu Koko. But, a special attacker runs all over this team. Runs all over it. Tusk has nothing. Koko has nothing. Mega Kang is semi-bulky. But, again, if we're talking Aura Sphere... Focus Blast does not live anything. If you're going to give Rain to other teams that use Rain better, I have a hard time seeing you bringing Politoed a lot, unless you're bringing Whirlpool Perish Song or Whirlpool Toxic. I don't know. Yeah.
But even with Infernape in the Rain, you still want to keep his stab. And that you're nerfing that stab of Infernape using fire moves.
Yeah, you gotta run Utility Umbrella. It's not good. This team, again, it's hard to say a team's not good, but this team has no synergy. It has synergy on some parts, but then like you said, it takes away synergy on others. You're putting Great Tusk in the Rain, so bubble is killing you now. Like, people are going to be using your own Thunders against you, and you do not have a switch in for Thunder on this team, except for Great Tusk. Like,
yeah, Tanker special defense is very bad. Even putting
Yeah.
that thing in the rain, it can't take Hydro Pumps.
Yeah, I mean, I might even be pressed to throw this at 20 for right now. Like,
I don't mind it being a 20.
we'll see how this goes. I mean, this could, like I said,
I'm
we
not,
could
I'm
change
not gonna
this.
lie, bro. With these mons, like individually, these mons are good.
Yeah, as a team.
I don't like the team. I mean, hey, well, listen, prove me wrong. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, for sure.
If
Absolutely.
we say your team's absolute trash and you go 9-0, I'm very
cool.
sorry, and I will own up to my shit as a man that I was wrong.
I think everybody else did way worse, way more wrong, but sure. Yeah, I'll admit that I'm wrong. By all means. All right, tabs. Terra Breloom, Roaring Moon, Gliscor, Blacephalon, Weezing, Mega Blastoise, Jirachi, Silvally, Ribombee, and Alolan.
All right, I'm gonna say it. This team has no fucking bulk. It's got Gliscor, which Hidden Power Ice is coming, and Weezing Galar. That's all you got.
Mega Blastoise?
Mega Blastoise.
Jirachi?
If you have to run it bulky, Jirachi has a lot of fucking weaknesses.
It's base
on top of
100.
fighting being neutral. No way. No fucking way. No fucking way.
Saying Jirachi bulky.
No way.
It's not bulky. It's crazy.
No
Breloom
way.
can run a bulky set with Toxic Heal.
I mean, I don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the team. Don't get me wrong. I think he loses a lot of pivoting power. A lot of it.
He doesn't have a lot of pivoting power in general.
Right.
I mean, Gliscor, I believe, gets U-turn, Blastoise flip turn.
Another one of those teams that has to win in the first 15 turns. This is not a longevity team.
I would agree. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're having to deal with Shell Smash Blastoise and Serene Grace Jirachi, like, and then on top of that, you're having to deal with Breloom and Roaring Moon and Gliscor and Blaze. Like, it just, yeah. I mean, it isn't the bulkiest team by any means. By any means. I think it's very, like, you're going to have, like, niche things that, like, you're going to bring Assault Vest and, like, berries and stuff like that. It's obviously going to make things bulkier, but I mean, I would agree, it's not very bulky at all. And even then, like, Mega Blastoise doesn't have any recovery, except for Life Dew. So you're going to have to rely on, like, Healing Wish from Jirachi, or I don't know if Ribombee gets Wish or anything. I don't think it does. I mean, yeah, it's definitely tough. Weezing doesn't get any recovery. So it's really just Breloom and Gliscor that get, like, good recovery, and the rest of them are, like, pretty frail and,
And this team definitely does not like the move knockoff.
No.
For sure not. Breloom,
very much
if
like
you want to run a Toxic, if it gets rid of the Toxic Orb, you're beat. Roaring Moon, I mean, depending on what you're bringing, is the only one on this team that would be able to take it relatively well. Gliscor, if you lose that Toxic Orb, you're fucking beat before you're Toxic. Blacephalon is dying. Weezing Galar, it's neutral and it's getting rid of, I'm assuming, Black Sludge, because that's typically its only way of recovery besides Pain Split. Jirachi is dying. I mean,
Silvally can't have Excitem. Yep.
Ribombee has 3 defense, so we'll see. And then Alolan Golem, I would love to see that dude shine. So I'm not going to say anything bad about Alolan Golem.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think his team can get carried away very fast. I think it has a lot of threats that you have to prep for, which makes it infinitely more annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking Thunderwave Ironhead Jirachi is already fucking giving me PTSD. So
yeah, no, I agree. Are we saying 13 right now? Like right into Chris? Or do you think it's lower?
I would put it above Chris. I would put it above Chris's team.
So you think Chris 13 taps 12? So we're having our first little...
Or, yeah, if we want to move it around more at the end, I just think right now, as it stands, I think Tab's team is better than Chris's team.
Okay. So we'll put Chris at 13 right now. Okay. All right. The savior of Season 5, in Donsky.
This team is good.
This team is good. Terra Zarude, Annihilate, again, a little bit of a zonk for me. Mega Mawile, Garganacl, Empoleon, Moltres, Baxcalibur, Gastrodon, Kilowattrel, Orbeetle. Now, very, very, very physical attack heavy team. Barely has any special attack on this team at all. You have Orbeetle, Kilowattrel,
Moltres, Empoleon.
Gastrodon, Empoleon, and Moltres. Now,
which is half his team.
Empoleon and Moltres are functioning. Okay, Empoleon, Moltres, Gastrodon, and Orbeetle all function as walls. You're not investing into their attack unless you're bringing like Specs Empoleon. Kilowattrel, you are investing in its attack, so I'll give you Kilowattrel. With that being said, though, 90% of this team that is being offensive, that is doing damage, in terms of like big damage, is physical. So, dealing with the, Will-O-Wisp spam and Intimidate Mons, granted you have Annihilate, but it is just, if you have a good physical wall that has good recovery, this team struggles.
Has to have a Covert Cloak.
Covert Cloak, and there's a couple other things, but yeah, Covert Cloak is the main one. You are gonna see Covert Cloaks.
Here's why I like this, right? Garganacl, Moltres, Gastrodon is so fucking annoying to deal with as 3 walls. Because if you want to hit Garganacl with a fighting type move, Moltres comes out, or Grass either. Moltres comes out, and you have the risk of Flame Body, which is fucking horrible for you. Gastrodon for its water weaknesses, and Garganacl and Moltres with Storm Drain gives you an immunity. I think those walls are going to be very fucking rough, and all 3 of them get recovery. I think that's going to be insanely rough to break through. Because I used Garganacl Moltres in the GBA, and it worked very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, bro, I mean, he's got a chip team, and the problem is if you're getting chipped, and then he brings out Mawile, he can get carried away.
For sure. I think on the flip side of that, though, if you do have a Mon with very good coverage, I'll use something like maybe Nidoking, just as an example of a Mon with really good coverage moves, not specifically Nidoking, but this team struggles. If you have a Mon that gets a ground type move, a grass type move, and a rock type move, it disassembles that entire core you just talked about, and then...
Yeah, but I mean, you could put that in every team, as if there's a Mon with coverage. I mean, there's going to be a Mon that can cover every single one of your walls. There's going to be that Mon.
I mean, I would agree. Yeah, I'm just saying, it's... And then again, bro, this team is very Earthquake weak. Annihilate, Mawile, Garganacl, Empoleon, Bax... like all taking neutral, and I mean, it's a very strong move. So, and even Zarude in times can be weak to it or not resistant to it at all. Oh, I'm dumb. It is Terra Dark. I thought he was Terra Grass, Zarude.
No, Terra Dark.
Okay. I thought it was just Terra Grass, but fair enough. Terra Dark is good. So, Terra Dark is good. His speed tiers are pretty bad. Zarude is the fastest. Zarude and Kilowattrel are the 2 fastest things that are over 100. Everything else, Annihilate is 90. Moltres is 90.
Yeah.
And then it goes down to like Bax at 80, and then it goes way down to like Mawile, Garganacl, Orbeetle, and Gastrodon.
Listen, man, I'm a little biased because this is literally a team I would build.
I agree. It is.
There's not a single Mon on this team that can be one shot except for Kilowattrel. I think it is going to be very scary to go against. I
would agree. It's definitely a scary team.
It's definitely going to be very difficult to deal with. And on top of Orbeetle sticky webs, he could get carried away.
Right. Okay. Do we think this is number 6? Or
Oh
do you think
God,
this
yeah,
is are we breaching the top 3?
No. I put it 6.
Okay. All right. So, I'm putting Savior. Savior of season 5.
And
There we
we've
go.
already done Josh.
We've already done Josh. Yes. Okay.
All right, so we're down to us.
Yeah, we're down to you and me. Should I just hit him with it? I mean, you won me too.
How about I give feedback on your team and you give me feedback on my team?
Okay. I'm down with that.
Okay. So like I told Tanner, his team with Torkoal makes him a little bit fire weak. I mean, Mega Diancie on paper 150 special defense, but then it has 30 HP. Is scary. Torterra, if it's not Terrad, is scary. Of course, I don't think you're going to be, raw switching in Torterra 99% of the time. But on the flip side, I think Sandy Shocks and Walking Break in the Sun are scary. And then Chien-Pao is just scary. I do think this Mon is good. I do think this team is good. I think it's going to come down to you bringing a lot of the same Mons every week. I don't see where Crobat fits in on the lineup unless because Orthworm negates Earthquakes. I don't really see where Crobat comes in. But that being said, I do think the 6 or so you have a 7th man with the Torkoal if you want to bring Sun or not. But Torterra, Mega Diancie, Chien-Pao, Orthworm, Walking Wick, Sandy Shocks is scary. That being said, I don't think you have a ton of bulk. I think on the specially defensive side, you are weak. But the team is still scary.
Yeah. I would agree. Crobat was here to. He gives me some hazard removal. And in certain situations, depending on what's across the field, Crobat can be bulky. It is a mixed attacker, so it's very versatile in that way as well. So that's really what Crobat's here for. You skipped over my boy Reuniclus.
It had to be done.
The Mana's goated. I like Reuniclus a lot. He is going to be... Normally with my teams, I have that one defensive Mon and then just a couple little other like semi-bulky pieces. Reuniclus is going to be that Mon for me this season. Reuniclus is probably coming every week. Or 90% of the time. To be bulky regenerator, or I'm sweeping your team in Trick Room with Life Orb Magikarp. So, and then I think you have to deal with all that, and then of course you get to Torterra, Chien-Pao, Mega Diancie. It is going to be very hard for people to keep up. I am not so arrogant that I would say that my team is top 3. I don't know. I mean, I may even be hesitant to put mine top 5. Now having Chien-Pao in a not top 5 team sounds weird, but I don't know.
I mean, I would put your. I just haven't gone over the rest of them. Is my problem too.
I know. Like I said, this is not permanent. We can adjust this. So
it's definitely in the top 10, so we can have that. It's definitely in the top 10.
So top half of the league.
Sure.
I appreciate that compliment.
I mean, for right now, with the teams I've seen, it does crack the top 5. I'd probably put it at 5, just for the fact that you are very special attack weak.
Okay, so I'm putting me at 5.
That's fine.
And then Preston 3, Josh 4 for right now.
Yeah, Preston's team is scary.
Josh 4.
Go ahead.
Okay, your team. I mean, there is not a big weakness on this team. It's very bulky. It is very your play style.
Of course.
Whittling people down with spikes, Meowscarada, Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rock, Glamora is going to be very tough for people to deal with. On top of that, I am very interested to see. I'm calling it by about week 4, we're going to have Ursaluna Blood Moon Hater number 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the Discord. This thing is going to be a problem. And then you have Trick Room aspects, you have speed aspects. Hitmonlee is great. Great can be a good specialty defensive wall. Diancie is great bulk. If it gets a Diamond Storm boost, it's very scary, especially in Trick Room because now you're body pressing things. This team is very scary, for sure.
Aegislash in the Trick Room.
Aegislash in the Trick Room has got very good coverage. I mean, just breaking through Diancie, Aegislash, Slowbro, Goodra, even Blood Moon. I mean, that's going to be super annoying. I mean, it's a top 5 team. I can't say it's not. It is. It's bulky. It hits very hard whenever this team is hitting. It's going to be very difficult to try to break through this team while also sustaining the damage that it can do. You've got Prankster in the Mon you sniped for me, and you have great recovery in Slowbro. You have a Poison Heal user in Glamora, Black Sludge, not Poison Heal.
Moonlight.
So that leaves Moonlight. You have that leaves you with leftovers. This team is disgusting in terms of bulk, regen, and hitting hard. So
I like my team. I like my team a lot. I feel like apparently some other these teams got more points than I did.
Not true.
I don't know where that went happen. I don't know where that went down with 1 point. I should have grabbed Golduck in the free agency because Golduck being at 1 point is criminal. But yeah, I mean, I like my team, and I had to grab Meowscarada just to get over that speed tier because I can't solely rely on Chick Room. And then Thundurus obviously has a good speed tier as well. But then I think people are going to be sleeping on the mon I think they're going to be sleeping on the most is Aegislash. On top of that mon, already you're only hitting the defensive side of it because of its speed. Is going to be very threatening, especially in a Trick Room. Because if I get up an SD, and I mean, even with physical attackers, King Shield, like that shit's like that's going to be annoying, especially with Glamora. It takes away the ability. I wanted Goldingo at first.
Yep.
Which I still might end up getting Goldingo. So.
Right. Yep. I will say your team it's very slow. It's very slow. So the Trick Room aspect is there. Outside of Trick Room, if you're having to deal with people running modest, adamant natures, again, you have that recovery, but maybe that offsets that a little bit because things are just doing more damage. Meowscarada carries your speed tier very heavily. So you're going to have Meowscarada and Thundurus, and you're going to have to be Thunder Waving things. And then that kind of goes against your Trick Room. And then Hitmonlee does get unburned, if I'm not mistaken.
It does.
Okay, so that will also help. How often are we bringing Hitmonlee? We'll see. Not a bad mon at all, but
yeah, we'll have to see. I mean,
not up to par.
Team, it's definitely coming.
Oh, please.
For sure.
I'll be bricked up if you bring that thing against me, bro. Please.
Oh, that Earthworm and that motherfucking Chimpow are basically dead. Yo, on top of Mega Diancie, it's dead. Don't let me get the Unburden proc.
Don't let me get the Unburden proc. Your team is very good. It's got a couple of little things, but it's not anything that you can't overcome, and that's so abundantly clear that, I mean, it's just a team you're just going to have to deal with. Like, there's no...
Right. First Luna Blood Moon in Trick Room at Terra Normal is killing 2 of your mons. There's quite literally nothing you can do about it. Yeah. So I'm interested because I've been calcing all day. And, I mean, unless you're bringing my Goodra against me with Assault Vest, it's definitely gonna anger some people for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I'm not gonna rank my own team. I'm not there yet.
I mean, I think everybody shifts down, and okay, I think I stay at 5, you go to 4, Josh goes down to 6,
Okay.
and then everybody else just shifts down 1. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
All right.
But I'll do it. So, anyways, going into the next team, let's do this. So, next team is Noah. Noah has Hisuian Avalugg as his Terra captain. He has.
This is my first round opponent, by the way.
Yes. He has Cinderace, Goldengo, Crawdaunt, Galarian Zapdos, Landorus Therian, Vikavolt, Mega Sceptile, Toxapex, Tapu Lele. I'll let you start while I do the rest of this.
This is another one of those teams that has little bulk. I think the Toxapex is gonna be under a lot of pressure. I mean, he does have a lot of offensive threats and a lot of pivoting power. U-turn Zapdos, U-turn Lando, U-turn Cinderace, shit like that. I think the Crawdaunt is a little out of place here.
I would also agree.
I don't see him bringing that ever.
Taking priority away from that mod is definitely very tough to consider bringing it very much.
With Lele.
Yes.
That being said, Crawdaunt is an amazing mon. Don't get me wrong. It is very good. It just, with this team, I don't see it coming a lot.
Right.
And I would love to see Crawdaunt hit the field. I'd love it. But that being said, it's rough. As I think this team, individually, these mods are very good. I'm interested to see how he uses them as an entire team. I think the Avalugg Hisui is a little weird with Terra. I mean, it has to have Terra to work because that mod has. It's very weak to a lot of things.
Yes.
Giving a mod 4 times weaknesses to physical attacks and that's your defense is a little rough.
Absolutely.
But I mean, it'll be interesting to see how he makes it work. That being said, his only hazard setters are Lando, Toxapex, Avalugg. Avalugg and Stealth Rocks, correct?
I believe. Yep.
So it's going to be interesting. I think if he pairs the Toxapex with the Goldengo, which is what I was trying to do with Glimmora Goldengo, toxic spikes into not being able to get rid of them because of Goldengo, is very good.
Also, Sticky Webs.
Right? Wait, who gets Sticky Webs?
Vikavolt.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. That's going to be an interesting thing. If 3 of your mons are Toxic, Vikavolt, Goldengo, interesting with this team.
I mean, Vikavolt. I mean, it is as much as people want to cap on Vikavolt, this thing can be bulky. It was bulky. Mega Gallade and Great Tusk are shivering in their boots at the sight of Vikavolt.
I agree. It definitely could be bulky.
I mean, it gets recovery. It gets roost. So,
yep,
I mean, you have an Earthquake immunity. This guy, he has a shit ton of Earthquake immunities. So.
Oh, I agree. He does have a lot of Earthquake immunities.
And having Vikavolt, what?
A motherfucking Blood Moon immunity.
He does not.
He does not.
He has a resistance in Goldengo.
And what?
Goldengo does resist.
He doesn't have a resistance because it's ground normal.
Right. I mean, I'm just talking specifically to Blood Moon. So,
Oh, to the move. I'm talking about the mon. I'm not talking about the move.
I just mean at least he has something that I mean, and Goldengo is bulky.
But
So,
also, it's not an immunity. It has Mind's Eye.
no, I know, I agree, but I'm just saying when you hit Goldengo, it is a resisted hit.
Right.
So
I think our matchup's going to be a fun one. I think
it
it's going
is
to be
for
super
sure.
fun.
I think having
seen
Vikavolt,
Zapdos
yeah,
in 3
having
seasons.
Vikavolt with Zapdos Galar and Cinderace and Mega Sceptile, like it's gonna be very difficult. Does he bring it into your team because it's already super slow? Probably not. Maybe he brings Vikavolt to the Trick Room.
That'll be interesting.
Avalugg
It'll be interesting.
could do very well in Trick Room. I mean,
All right.
Crawdaunt is super slow, so you know.
Do you want me to tell you how much Avalok Hisweek's taken from Blood Moon?
I mean, well,
At
you're
max
probably.
special defense to Southwest?
Oh my god, yeah, it's probably doing 56 to 67.
I think it'll be a fun game. I'm definitely excited. Obviously, I don't want to leak any of my strats, but I'm definitely bringing some funny shit for week 1. So we'll just have to see if it works at all. I think Noah does have a good team. I just don't. I would put it in the bottom 10 because I do not rate it as highly as I do. That's what probably we should do: separate the top 10 from the bottom 10, and then at the end fix them. But
We're
I
a
definitely
little
put
deep
it in
now.
the bottom 10 for sure.
Okay, unless we want to restart, but we're definitely deep.
No.
All right, so I'll just put Noah in 15 for right now, and then I guess we will separate, and then yes. All right.
Okay.
So, all right, 16. All right, here I'll just put everybody else's name in here then. So Jake with Penguin, and then we have Chase, and then we have Shady, and then last would be Vixen. Okay. All right. Oh, wait. What do we not have here? Oh, B and Croc. I'm dumb. Okay. All right. So we're on to Jake. Yes. Would you like to go, or do you want me to?
I can go, and then you can follow it up because
go ahead.
one of your boys. I know your bias shit is coming in.
I was biased with you.
This team.
I was biased with you.
No.
I was.
My team is a good team. My team's a good team.
Yeah, it is. So is Nick's.
Or Jake's or Nick's? Which one are we talking about here, bro?
Both are good. I mean, both are good teams. They're not better than yours. Jake's is close.
Jake's team.
Jake's is closer than Nick's team to you, but just between specifically those two.
His team is very scary on paper, individually. Yes. Very scary. That being said, his special defense is horrible.
Okay. It is without an assault vest. Okay. Fluttermane, obviously, very specially defensive mon. 135, if I'm not mistaken. Tapu Fini. Very low HP, yes. Tapu Fini is obviously can be mixed defenses. Iron Moth, pretty much same situation as Fluttermane. It's got good special defense, but bad HP. Assault Vest Ursaluna is one of its best sets, probably its best set in draft.
Which is what I think he has to bring.
Gallade is also very specially defensive. And so is Glastrier. So he has a lot of specially defensive bulk, like base. A lot of his mons have very low HP. So that's the main problem, is finding something that even if you have investment in it, that you don't take almost 50 from. But then again, that thing that's hitting you for 50 is also taking 60 to 70 back, if not dying. So
I agree.
I think all it takes is for you to be able, with Jake's team, is for him to be able to take a hit and then dish it back 2 times harder.
It's definitely going to take a lot of him damage calcing.
Yes.
Because I think if he runs 252, he's going to lose games. It's not a bad team. It's definitely not, because I mean the top 5 mons out the gate, or top 6 even, are very, very threatening mons.
Dealing with Mega Aggron in misty terrain is hard. Because the main thing that I experienced when I was using Mega Aggron is, I mean, obviously you're going to deal with special attackers, that's just a given, but Will-O-Wisp. That, like, you burn Mega Aggron, it doesn't do anything. Like, it will wall things, but the offensive ability of Mega Aggron back to the things that it is walling is non-existent anymore. If you burn it, Misty Terrain solves that problem. And Feeney also covers both fire and fighting, which are Aggron's two main things that it cannot deal with, because fire is more of a special attacking type, in my opinion. And then fighting, you can obviously deal with Aggron, but why not let Feeney deal with it? And then you hit them back super effectively. So that duo is very good together in terms of Feeney can be specially defensive, Aggron can be defensive, and they can play off each other very well. So, like you said, this team's good. I would put this team in the top 10. I think it's a top 10 team.
I agree. We're running at a top 10 spots. Also want to give a shout out. Me and Biff are the only ones without megas. So shout out me and Biff.
Josh does not have a mega. I don't believe. Josh does not have a mega.
Okay, me, Biff, and Josh.
Yeah.
Shout out the kids.
Y'all are weird. But I think Jake is in the top 10 for sure. So I'm taking him as out.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I can move him out of that.
Not saying Naz is actually 16, but I'm just saying where he's not in. I don't. He may still be in the top 10, but we'll fix this after we go over everybody's team. So Chase.
Have we done B and Croc? Or are you just moving it?
No, I just put everybody's name in here, and then we're on Chase, Shady,
Okay.
B, Croc are the last ones we have to go over, and Vixen. How long is this video?
All right, I'll let you go. I'll let you go. I'll let you talk about Chase.
Okay.
Since you're very happy about this team because you built it.
I did not. I
Right.
I gave him 2 Mons in this team, and that was Celesteela and Hitmontop.
Listen, man, go ahead. We're running out of time here. We're out of time frame.
All right, bro. Nidoking, Manaphy, Mega Altaria, Raikou, Celesteela, Whimsicott, Gengar, Darmanitan, Hitmontop, Mesprit, Absol. This team is bulky offense for me. Darmanitan can be semi-bulky. Hitmontop has its offensive aspects to it. Mesprit is a great Scarfmon. Mesprit and Nidoking essentially can do the same thing in having just every single cover, the rainbow moveset of they have every single coverage move. Raikou very specially bulky, hits very hard. Mega Altaria can be very bulky with Cotton Guard sets, sub, DD, stuff like that. The biggest thing for me is, does he use Manaphy correctly this season? Because that new move is, I have heard talks of Manaphy being a ban-worthy Pokemon.
Yeah, I saw that same video. I know what you're talking about.
Because of this move. And because of probably a certain set with that move that is very hard to deal with. So,
right.
It's Nidoking is obviously going to hit very hard. Plaz doesn't agree with doing just your stab typings. I get it.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I would do 1 stab typing and 1, non. I wouldn't do electric fire.
I would keep the ground and then do something else.
Yeah, I would agree. Like I said, it's very bulky offense. It's all on how Chase is going to use it. Does Chase actually apply himself this season? Until I see that, I have to put him in the bottom 10. This team is good. Like, it has a lot of heavy hitters and things that can take hits and dish them back very well. But if we're looking at the coach aspect of it, I have to put it in the bottom 10. This is probably number 10. Like, it's probably like, top 5 of the bottom 10, just because I have to see Chase apply himself and not prep 5 minutes and then play 5 minutes before he goes to Joe's.
I mean, I'd put it in the bottom 10 as well. I do think it's good. He does not have a lot of pivoting power. But I do think overall the team is good. It does have a lot of bulk. I'm just interested to see because this comes into the coach aspect where he needs to bring the right 6 months every week.
Yes.
Which is going to be interesting to see how he does that. Because he's got a full lineup.
Yes.
But a lot of these mons do a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has to bring the right 6 mons every week. Otherwise,
he is my first game.
Scary.
He is my first game.
Right. I think his team struggles into your team. Just for the fact of the Sun with Walking Wake and Sandy Shocks is definitely threatening.
Do I really want to give Darmanitan the Sun, though?
Darmanitan has to be Choice Scarfed for it to do well into your team. Choice Scarfed in the Sun. And on top of that, if he's taking rocks damage, Darmanitan already has low HP and does not take hits back effectively. So it'll be interesting. I think you guys will have a good game. I think it'll be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I do think there's a lot of potential for this team, though.
I agree.
I think he should make a couple of trades, and we'll have to see what those are because I don't know what they are yet. Because individually these mons are good, but I definitely think he could require some different pieces. I just don't know what those pieces are yet.
Right.
So I'll have to watch it and find out. But I don't think Absol's coming to a single game.
I think other than Manaphy, I think my other eye is going to be on Celesteela. How well does he use Celesteela? How creative can he be with Celesteela? Because it can do different things every week. It's very versatile.
It can. But I would put it in the bottom 10.
I agree. Would you put it in the top half of the bottom 10 or bottom half?
I'd probably put it.
I think 15. It's really.
That's probably where I would put it.
Okay.
I do think this is his best draft, though.
Okay. All right. Shady. This team is crazy. This team is crazy.
It's scary.
Terra Excadrill, Greninja, Monkey Dory, Togekiss, Rillaboom, Mega Heracross, Tyranitar, Hisuian Typhlosion, Agent Bolt, and P2. We have somebody who has Trick Room Mega Heracross. Thank God. Because I need Plaz to know that he's wrong about Mega Heracross not being able to be in Trick Room. Because that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, it's definitely not a true Trick Room.
I disagree.
But my problem with his team, it's not a true Trick. I mean, it's based 80 speed?
No, it's 60, I think.
I don't think so.
I think
75.
It is. Is it?
Yeah.
All right, still, yeah, you run minus speed nature and no speed EVs, and you're good.
I mean, but for that to be, it would have to be that, and I guess Tyranitar would be in the Trick Room would be beneficial.
P2, Agent Bolt.
I think this team is way better off without Trick Room. I don't think Mega Heracross needs to be in the Trick Room. I think this mon could be very threatening. It's just how you use it, and with the access of Trailblaze, this mon can be very, very scary.
Right.
I'll just put it against Beak, for example. If Donphan kills something and Mega Heracross comes out and it can kill Donphan with a Trailblaze, or even kill it with 2, Mega Heracross can almost take 90% off of everything else.
Right.
It is a very good mon. And I like that they added Trailblaze. It gives a lot of those mons some versatility. But other than that, I think his biggest play is going to be Tyranitar into Excadrill. And being Terra Excadrill is fucking terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very good. It's going to be interesting to see. Because he does have some pretty decent bulk in there as well. I mean, Mega Heracross is bulky. Tyranitar is bulky. Bellabolt is bulky. Porygon 2 is bulky. Togekiss is also bulky, so I think it's going to be interesting to see.
Rillaboom as well. Rillaboom can be bulky.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking forward to this team. This team is very good. I would definitely put it up in the top 5.
You think it's top 5 team?
For sure.
Okay.
For how balanced it is and how there's not a matchup on this board that he is stumped with. There's not going to be a team that he can't compete with.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Now we're on to B. Terra Ironleaves. Now, I'll say that. Iron Valiant, Mega Alakazam, Araquanid, Duraludon, Tornti, Pincurchin, Donphan, Entei, Graphite, Knucklestack. Now, no Terra Fire on the Iron Leaves is a big oof. Like, Terra Fire just covers the majority of what this mon does not already cover. So I don't know why we're Grass. I would get rid of Grass and do Fighting and Fire, personally.
Yeah, Grass is a rough Terra type. It has a lot of weaknesses.
Yeah, if you were doing a stab, I would have rather you done Sidekick. So then if you have Pincurchin and you have your stab, Terra, Psychic, Psyblades in electric terrain, I mean, that's probably a base 150 power move at that point. I would rather see that than Terra Leaf Blade.
I agree.
Anyways. Iron Valiant, Mega Alakazam, Tornti are obviously the top three everybody was talking about. He does have good bulk on this team. Entei, Donphan, Pincurchin, Tornti, Duraludon, Araquanid. All very bulky mons. Knucklestack as well. I mean, Knucklestack can come to games very easily. Sticky Webs with Mega Alakazam, Iron Valiant is incredible. I like Iron Leaves. No, you don't need it, but it does help in a lot of situations where like you have that one mon where you're having to save your booster energy on Valiant to not get outsped.
Well, with Pincurchin, he doesn't have to booster energy, which is why I like the team.
That's true. I will say I think if the opponent's team, it will be hard for this team, I think, to keep up.
This is another one of those teams that is very Earthquake weak, since you like to say that often.
Yeah.
Tornadus is the only thing that takes it well.
Araquanid will take it fairly well.
It's a resistant build, but I mean, Iron Valiant's frail, Mega Alakazam's frail. If Iron loses Terra, it's hurting. Duraludon super effective, Pincurchin super effective, Entei super effective, Graphite super effective, Knucklestack super effective.
Yes.
I do think this is going to come a lot on the discipline of B, understanding that he doesn't have to bring Mega Alakazam, Iron Valiant, Iron Leaves. You do not have to continue to. You don't have to bring those mon every single week. You have a lot of options.
Right. You got a full roster.
Having to play around Iron Valiant and Mega Alakazam is going to be tricky. But I think bringing them both every single week, it puts you in a little bit of a box where you cannot swap those mons in to take hits. They cannot come in unless it's a free swap. Which, if it is a free swap, it's scary, but you have to have the right chips on teams for those mons to sweep. So I think it just comes down to how he preps for these games. But this team can be scary. It just comes down to how he preps.
Yes. So what do we think? Top 10?
I mean, I think it's bottom 10. Okay. But I think it's like the top of. I think it should be like 10 or 11.
11. Okay. All right. I'll just kind of substitute some of these things in as we go. Okay. Now we're on the Croc. Terra normally goes Kommo-o, which is the two best Terra types for that mon.
This team's terrifying.
Mega Scizor, Brute Bonnet, Landorus Incarnate, Dondozo, Alola Ninetales, Ceruledge, Darkrai, Starmie.
So I will say, this team, like some of the others, is very, very special attack weak. Very. Because you're not even getting that proc with weak armor on Ceruledge. Right. I do think Kommo-o is fucking terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mega Scizor is a very good mon. Season 1 champion.
Right.
And I think behind screens is going to be good, but like right there, Alola Ninetales, Mega Scizor, Kommo-o. So I feel like that is the three he has to bring every single week. I think he has to bring.
Okay.
Brew
I,
Bonnet is a little weird for me. I think he just kept that for the nostalgia.
there's
I
no
think that could
reason
be
that
swapped out
Darkrai
with
and Brute
something.
Bonnet need to be here.
I agree. Um, I think Darkrai does probably the job better.
I
I
don't.
don't see him bringing Brew Bonnet to a lot of these games.
I for this team, I think Brute Bonnet's actually better because it's
Do
bulky.
you?
Yeah, it's way bulkier than Darkrai. I mean, max HP Brute Bonnet can live some crazy shit and do a lot of damage back. I like because if you're
I agree
bringing
with you, but I think he should trade Brew Bonnet out for a wall. I think that's what he's missing. I think he needs a special defensive wall. I think that's what he's missing.
yeah, I mean technically if you drop Darkrai, you can pick up two like middle tier Mons because he gives you
Yeah.
18 points, or like a middle tier and a lower tier. But the lower tier can be a wall, like something like that. So I just don't think between like because if you're having to bring like you said, Como, Mega Scizor, Ninetales, and then you have to choose between Landorus Incarnate with Sheer Force, Darkrai, and Brew Bonnet. Like I feel like it's gonna be super hard to choose what you want to bring, and like if you bring a team, you're gonna go, oh, I don't have any hazard removal, or oh, I don't have any good things to switch into certain things. Like it's just
Yeah, he
yeah,
really doesn't have any hazard removal, and his team does get hurt by hazards.
Starmie and I believe Landorus gets
Landers,
defog, Mega Scizor
right?
gets defog.
Like you don't want Landers in their defog.
I feel like you barely
And the
want
same thing,
Scizor defogging either. I
you
mean you
don't want
can.
Scizor defogging, and you don't want Starmie rapid spinning. Um,
I wouldn't
it,
necessarily say that.
I mean, unless you have a clear, good matchup with Starmie. Um, I mean, I think you're putting a lot of pressure on Dondozo to just be able to come in and take hits.
Yeah,
Um,
and it has no
and
recovery.
yeah, it's just rest.
And if you're having
So
to run Assault Vest because you need a special
you're being
defensive wall, you just can't. I mean, if you get
yeah.
statused on Dondozo, you're beat. I mean, yeah. I'll say this as well. Say, I helped Jake prep for this game because he plays Croc.
Okay.
I think Jake definitely has the matchup, and it is going to be very interesting to see what Croc brings to stop certain things. Um, we've got some pretty cool stuff cooked up for sure. I'll be very interested to see what 6 Croc brings, because that's what it's going to come down to is what 6 does Croc bring, and
I mean, I think the 6 he has to bring 90. I think the 5 he has to bring come Omega Scissor Landers Dondozo Ninetales. I think those are coming every single week.
then you're just
And then
substituting
it's
out
gonna be
Landorus, Darkrai, or
yeah,
Starmie or Ceruledge.
or Brew Bonnet, Sirlich, Darkrai, Starmie. Like I said, I don't think I think Landorus comes every week. I do not think Brew Bonnet does.
Okay. Okay. It's a good team. It's terrifying. It has it has its weaknesses. It is a very slow team. I mean, Ninetales barely breaches 100. Obviously, you have Darkrai with 125. Landorus, I believe, is like 106, 109. And then it just drops down from there to
No,
like.
Landorus is low, bro.
I think Landorus is over 100.
It's 101.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's over 100. You know. So, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think it's top 10. I don't think it's top 10.
I don't think so either.
I think it's like up here with Chase. I think it's probably
I think you're
top.
putting there's a lot of pressure on Mega Scissor and Como to put up
I
MVP
agree.
numbers.
I think it's worse than Chris's team. Uh, I'd probably put it under. Nah, I don't know if I'd put it under Tabs' team. Um, we agree he should be down here somewhere. I'm gonna put Chris. I'm gonna put Croc here. I'll put Chris here. Okay. All right. Last but not least, before we get to like actually trying to tier these things at the final end, is Vixen. Uh,
Okay.
Terra regular Kyurem. Corviknight, Mega Gardevoir, Hydreigon, Arcanine, Slitherwing, Blastoise, Muck, Lycanroc Dusk, Hisuian Electrode.
So, this is what I'll say about this team. It is very slow. Very, very slow. Because I don't think you can bring Lycanroc Dusk and Electrode Hisuian into the same game. I think that literally is just two free frail mons, and nothing else breaches 100 except Mega Gardevoir, right?
Yeah, Mega
Hydreigon
Gardevoir is
does
over
too,
100. Yeah.
but Hydreigon is still on that bottom tier of speed.
Right.
Um,
What it lacks in speed, though,
it has a lot of
it
bulk.
is very bulk.
It
And
is very, very bulk.
and Kyurem gets a Dragon Dance up, and it's suddenly fast. Hydreigon, the same thing. You can D-Dance with Hydreigon and run physical. Slitherwing gets Flame Charge and Trailblaze. If I'm not mistaken, he does get Trailblaze. Blastoise has Shell Smash. I mean, Muck's got priority. Arcanine's going to be bulky most times. Like, it's got decent recovery. Hydreigon with Roost. Corviknight with Roost. Kyurem with Roost. Slitherwing has Morning Sun. Arcanine has Morning Sun. Like, this team's good. This team is good. It's very bulky. It can stall. It can attack very hard. Like, it's got decent pivoting too. Like Slitherwing, Blastoise, Hydreigon, Corviknight, Hisuian Electrode. I mean, it's hard to. I mean, the only thing I'll say is you don't have a true ground type. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but that's. I feel like that's like the only negative thing I can say about this team. It's like it's slow, and you don't have a true ground.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think it's going to be very, very fucking annoying to break through.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you're going to have to be conscious of who you're keeping alive and who you're sacking against this team.
Right.
I mean, I would put it. Fuck.
If we're taking team and coach, I think it is the top of bottom 10.
I'd probably put it like 12.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
All right, now let me look at the whole list.
So Vixen at 12, and then I had to take away Sal would be not actually here. So okay.
Shit. Dude, I hate to say this, bro. I hate to fucking say it. I think Preston is top 2. I hate to say it, bro. I fucking hate to say it. I hate to say it.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
I hate to say it, bro, but like,
is it the best team in the league?
I don't want to sound shitty, but if anybody else has that team, bro, it's
number 1.
Fucking scary, bro.
Okay. All right. Preston has it in him. Okay.
I agree.
That season, I mean, he was gonna be in playoffs, and I had a chance not to be in season 3. So I mean, and then he just traded his team away, started playing like trash because the team composition was trash, and then it just went all downhill. So it depends on what Preston we see. I mean, I agree. I think it's number 1. I think compositionally it is the best team in the league.
I mean, we're gonna have to take coaches out of this. I'm going off of straight draft.
Okay. Okay. All right. So Preston's got to be probably number 1. Yeah.
It's number 1.
All right. So we're taking coaches out. Okay. Who the fuck did I just take out for that?
It was Shady.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll just keep his name here. Okay.
Fuck.
Let's see. Who else would I? I mean, your team, my team are definitely top 10. Again, I don't know. I'm not so arrogant to say my team is guaranteed top 5. I don't
it's very hard to build this team without every mon right in front of me right now. It is very, very hard to build this list.
Uh, I mean, fuck, dude. With 20 people, this is so crazy to do.
It's hard. It's hard.
Do we agree that Woo's team is the worst team in the league?
Agreed.
Okay, so Woo is bottom. All right, cool. That's decided. All right, let's just kind of go. All right, let's do this. Is Shady a top 10 team in the league based on composition?
Yes.
Okay. Is Chris?
No.
All right. You and me. Top 10.
Yep.
Okay. Josh, top 10.
Yep.
All right. Donsky, top 10.
Yep.
Okay. Biff.
Shit, dude.
Because I think the next two.
Hard, bro. Honestly, this is gonna be almost impossible to get 1 to 20.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Because then we have people down here
and not keep contradicting ourselves.
Because then we have people like Plaz and Imnaz down here in the bottom, 10 of the league. And I mean,
just say fuck it. We're just gonna do top 10 and bottom 10. I mean that's literally the only thing we can do.
That's what I'm saying.
Rankings don't matter. Rankings don't matter. Okay. So I think Jake's top 10. Nick is good.
Okay.
Fuck. Jesus Christ, bro.
This is super tough.
This is fucking impossible.
Oh my god.
All
right, here I'll so we said Shady is here. We said Shady belongs here. Chris, we said does not. So JC and then 10. There we go. We said Josh belongs here. We said Donsky belongs here. Are we saying Biff belongs here?
Yeah, I like Biff's team. I'd say yeah.
So Nick, Biff, Jake, and then who's number 10? So you have B, Vixen, Tabs, Croc, Chase, Imnaz, Noah, Plas, Sal, and Woo is the worst team in the league. So
I'd put B.
Okay, B. All right. So.
All right, and then I would put. So I would make it Plaz 11.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, I agree. We're putting Imnaz here.
Imnaz, yeah. Well, I mean the rest are bottom 20. But.
Oh, okay. So we pretty
much have it.
Who am I missing here now?
I guess if we want to, we can just go down the line and say better than.
I have no. Who am I missing here?
You're missing Vixen, and fuck, I don't know.
Tabs? Is Tabs here? Tabs is here. Josh is here. Don's here. Biff. Oh, Sal. Sal's here.
Sal's on the bottom.
And that's Noah,
yep.
Jake, Chase.
Fuck.
Shady. B. Croc.
Noah?
No, I have Noah on here. I was right. 17. Okay. Preston.
You have Chase?
And Vixen. Yeah, Chase right here. Who the fuck am I missing?
Oh, fuck.
Is it Chris?
Yeah.
It's Chris. Okay, it's Chris. Okay.
This is hard.
Dude, it's so tough. And to be fair, we've been going for fucking almost 2 hours.
A long time. I just say we leave it. I would just say the rankings don't fucking matter.
It is hard to rank. Everybody's team is good.
Everybody's team is good.
Yeah, there's not really any.
Everybody's team has there's not one team that I would say on matchup loses to every single other team.
Right. Right. So in no particular order, since it is super hard to do this, you know, these would be like your top. Where
And
are
your
you?
bottom.
Yeah, your top and your bottom. Not in any necessary like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like order. So.
Yeah, we can't do that, guys. We can't do it. We've infringed the
It's
power,
super
and
tough.
it would literally just have to be: is this team better than this? Yep. Is this team better than this? Yep. I mean,
Right.
and then when we get down to the bottom, we'd have to contradict ourselves, and it would be a
Yeah.
lot of
It would definitely be
back and
tough.
forth
New
mess.
this new system definitely made it hard to actually rank teams in terms of like good and bad for sure because everybody gets better mons. So with that, gonna probably just bring the video to a close. I guess I'll copy Plaz and say if you're mad, El Bozo. Um,
I mean, I don't give a fuck.
prove us wrong. If you don't think your team is a bottom 10 team, then prove us wrong, and
For sure.
we'll be waiting for it. Um, hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes, sir.
See ya.